Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned into Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Baltimore Ravens. With that, let's get up to M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. There to call all the action, we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with the Denver Broncos. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Case Keenum bringing out the Denver Broncos, who are 2-0. Two close wins, but wins nonetheless. They won by 3 in Week 1 over Seattle, and then a 1-point win against Oakland in Week 2. Case Keenum just 38 yards passing in the first half, but 184 in the second.
And there were concerns about the Broncos quarterbacking spot, and those concerns have been around for the last few seasons. But it looks like Keenum is starting to solidify things because he's so resilient. You just pointed out a tough first half, shakes it off, has a big second half, and leads his team to a late victory over Oakland.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll run it here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On second down, here's Keenum. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the gun on third down, Keenum, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So on fourth down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Baltimore Ravens offense takes the field, led by that man, Joe Flacco. Now, Thursday night, it was a loss to the Cincinnati Bengals, 34-23. But Flacco put up big numbers in that game, 32 of 55, 376 yards, and a pair of touchdowns to boot.
But playing in Baltimore, when Joe Flacco puts up those kind of numbers, it's usually not a good night for the Ravens because they are what? A run-first team. Only 66 yards rushing in the game against Cincinnati. That defensive front of the Bengals held that down, so it made it harder for them to run offense. So when Joe Flacco has to throw it 55 times, usually not a good sign for the Ravens.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. Brandon Marshall able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
Here's Sam Cook now. And no room for... Oh, they're on him too quickly back there, and it's blocked. It's picked up, and this is a live ball, remember. And the Denver Broncos are in for 6.
But they didn't have their normal cushion there in order to punt the ball away. It leads to a lot of anxiety for the team kicking the football.
For the punter, you know that you've got to get rid of that quickly there. Not quick enough.
And also, not stepping behind you and stepping over the end line for a safety. That one gets blocked, and it's 6 points.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. Extra point from McManus is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Here comes Grant on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground with Allen. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking for Nick Boyle that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. And here's a look at the defense for Denver. The undisputed star of this defense is Von Miller, who was the Super Bowl 50 MVP, had 10 sacks in 2017. He's had double-digit sacks 6 times in a 7-year career. And how about a little cherry on top of the sundae? The defensive MVP of the Pro Bowl last season.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Flacco. He's going to air one out. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on third down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
Here's Sam Cook now. On for his second punt, and remember, his first one was blocked. Jones on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Good starting position for the Broncos here as they come up first and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Philip Lindsay, he's really been tough to contain first 2 weeks of the NFL season. Not just being talked about in the city of Denver, but really around the league, Charles.
Yeah, his first 2 NFL games, 104 total yards in the opener, 111 in week 2, both of them wins. That makes him the first undrafted rookie in NFL history to log 2 100-yard games to begin his career. Came from the University of Colorado, so he's very comfortable at altitude.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed, as that's going to move the chains. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Let's go, let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
From midfield, here's Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third down.
Could be a blitzer.
Shotgun snap for Keenum. And he's going to go down again. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Here's Marquette King now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And good hustle here as this is going to be blown dead right at the 9-yard line. And now here come the Ravens. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Now a play fake here on first down. He gets this one to Michael Crabtree. And he's brought down after a good gain. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
On first down, Flacco looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there, and now it's second down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To pass, Flacco. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Von Miller in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. The #2 pick back in 2011, Von Miller still doing his thing.
Boy, is he ever. If I were an offensive tackle, I don't know what I would do. I would tell the tight end he's got to stay in on all passing situations and help me out because he's got every move imaginable. One of the quickest guys off the ball in the league, and he's going to get to the quarterback.
Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on 3rd and long. Flacco from the gun. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach Can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Here's a carry for the fullback. This is Andy Janovich. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop. And here are the Raven defensive starters.
The #1 asset for a pass rusher, his legs. And even in his mid-30s, Terrell Suggs has his firmly underneath him. Last season, 11 sacks, his 7th year of double-digit sacks. Still has all the pass rush moves in his arsenal and can continue to bull rush people in order to get quarterbacks on the ground.
Let's go, let's go.
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Here's Keenum. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he is going to have the first down as he's up to his own 13-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Let's go, let's go.
Keenum on first down. Now he'll escape to his left. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll go on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. The drive starts with a run by Allen. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On third down. That's Allen. Allen hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Now, you often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Keenum to Sanders for the Denver first down. Before they can get settled in here, time expires on the first quarter of action. It's the Broncos with the early lead. We're back to Baltimore after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Keenum over the middle, and it's incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Keenum. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Keenan. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And McManus able to put it through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Brandon McManus, by the way, had the big field goal in Week 2 to lift Denver over Oakland 20-19.
Yeah, on a weekend where it was a struggle for his brethren around the league kicking the football. A lot of teams lost games or couldn't compete because their field goal kickers struggled. Not Brandon McManus, 2 for 2 in the game, including a 39-yarder that won it for them.
He's perfect on the season so far, 4 of 4. After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back onto the field now goes Buck Allen as he gets ready. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you get a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Flacco. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now Flacco. Underneath to Allen. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Flacco. To Allen on the dump off. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Here's Jones. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here's Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. Second quarter here, he has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Let's go, let's go.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count
Still
got him
second
there?
down.
Yeah, maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So after the penalty, now they need just a yard on second down. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
On first down, it's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Keenum. This is caught by the tight end, Hireman. Give him 30 yards there.
If post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
Keenum now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Off play action. Keenum. Throwing the comeback route. He's got the hook up to Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds down inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, he got the DB on his horse on that play. He certainly sold like it was going to be a deep route before breaking it back on the comeback towards the sideline.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. From the red zone now, Keenum. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Broncos on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Deshaun Hamilton from 4 yards out. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting run, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good, and that makes our score 17-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now McManus on to kick this one off. Joe Flacco here. We get a peek at what he's done so far in this game. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Flacco gives to Allen. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
The Ravens on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating out of the gun. Flacco. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Spinning past him. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here's the Ravens defense as they head back out there now. And with this deficit, let's be honest, it's time for them to get a stop.
And partners, you understand very well from our time together and visiting with coaches, defensive coordinators tend to be a little more emotional, a little more high-strung than others.
They are.
I have a feeling that speech came out about taking a stand and bowing up in this possession.
Yeah, that's where this word pride comes out, right?
In a big way.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, here's Keenan. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Broncos on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Keenan. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. This is taken around the 12. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
Set! Ready!
They start the drive with a give to Allen. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll run with Allen. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Flacco off play action. And able to find John Brown. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Collins. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Ravens on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Flacco looks to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
First and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. A right side catch by Crabtree. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. First red zone chance now for the Ravens. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Here's Collins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Second down, Flacco now. And this is complete. It's Allen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Flacco. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Michael Crabtree from 10 yards out, and the Ravens cut into that lead. And he just did get those feet in there on the side of the end zone. Well done.
Probably the exact size foot necessary, because I think if he had another half size, that catch doesn't count. And he's able to get it in, and it counts for a touchdown.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision, because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So that drive goes a full 80 yards in 10 plays. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams were all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here, because they had incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock, because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Here's Marquette King now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Joe Flacco and company heading back out onto the field. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, the little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass. No interceptions for him personally to this point. Here's Flacco. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. That'll bring up 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. Flacco now 9 of 16 through the air as he's got it 1st and 10. Flacco from the gun. Brought in left side by Snead. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Operating off play action. Flacco looking for Snead, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown and pick it off, just as we saw there.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going, too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those, too, because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows. They're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. After the interception, here's Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Keenum now to throw. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Now a first down throw. Keenum. Sanders has it over the middle. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the left hash, this from 37. And McManus able to put it through. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now Allen. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. So we come upon halftime with the visiting Broncos taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. This one has been a hard-hitting affair to this point, and you got to expect we'll see more of the same in the second half. And to bring the action your way, let's get it right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing here on first down. Flacco throwing middle, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown, and that'll bring up second down. Well, CD, switching gears for a second, you know, there's been a special teams issue so far in the NFL this season, especially you look at week 2 through Sunday's games. There were 19 missed extra points and field goals combined between all the kickers in the league.
And if you look at Minnesota and Cleveland, that's where the spotlight really focuses, because Minnesota, rookie kicker Daniel Carlson, they spent a 5th-round pick on him, supposed to solve their kicking issues. He missed 3 in Green Bay, including a couple potential game winners. And Cleveland with Zane Gonzalez, I believe he left 11 points on the board, or I should say off the board, with missed extra points and field goals in their loss to New Orleans.
So maybe some kickers that aren't seeing time now aren't even on a team that might be popping up on rosters soon. Third down. Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. This is brought in at the 21. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. They'll fake the handoff. Now Keenum. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, with that incompletion, we've got to talk about the ties that we've seen in weeks 1 and 2. Everyone was talking about the Steelers-Browns week 1, Charles, but week 2 we saw another. The game that you had, Vikings and Packers.
Yeah, and do you know something? They tied at 29. You know, it's the first time teams have tied with the score 29-29 in NFL history, so another little oddity that you throw in there. But I think the common characteristic between the Vikings, Packers, and the Steelers-Browns from week 1, kicking. The kicking game got both games, and it really affected in a big way. The Browns could have won, had a field goal blocked. The Vikings could have won. Their field goal kicker missed 3. and Mason Crosby, the Packers, made one, but the Vikings had called timeout. He had to do it again, and he missed. So there you go, 2 ties in the first 2 weeks.
First time that's happened since 1971. They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Going up top. He's got it with the 15. And he's going to be taken down deep into Bronco territory. Flacco finding Crabtree for a big one. 49 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. This is Collins on the handoff. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Now Flacco. This will be caught just inside the 10. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the stats that matter on this play don't help a team very much unless, of course, you're playing defense.
If you're getting points per reception, you got a reception, but no yardage. Great job by the defense, though. They read through that one.
They read through it, gave up no yardage, and people got credit for tackles. Pretty good deal.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that cuts into the deficit. It's now 20-10. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. A CD switching gears for a second. After last year, 7 NFL head coaches were relieved of their duties. And in week 1 of this season, those 7 coaches went 0-7. They fared a little better, though, in week 2.
They certainly did. Finally got into the win column. 3 of those happened. 1 in Chicago, 1 in Tennessee, and 1 in Indianapolis. Finally getting off the schneid. The other guys trying to get it done in week 3.
Yeah, including John Gruden. Curious to see when he gets his first victory out west.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken at the 15. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. Michael Crabtree and company now heading back onto the field. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their 38. Flacco. Pass incomplete. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in, but the John Gruden era not off to the best start. They're at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Flacco. It finds Crabtree for the completion. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. A first down pickup there, Flacco to Crabtree.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon. Flacco
now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now a give to Collins. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside. and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Flacco from midfield. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Flacco and the Ravens now, after the sack, need something good here on 3rd and long. Operating out of the gun, Flacco. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Off the play fake, Keenum. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. This defense figured out something in the locker room. That's 2 third-quarter picks now.
And you just wonder, did he get too comfortable in the locker room himself? His team has the lead. Take care of the football. He's putting them in jeopardy right now.
Now Joe Flacco and the offense heading back out onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Here's a first down run with Collins. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. DeMarcus Walker there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Could be 4-down territory even if they don't get this, but they need just a few inches here on third. They'll try and run forward with Collins. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
On first down, Flacco. He's going to air one out. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Mark Andrews, 34 yards. And the Ravens have cut it to within a score.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
Just drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Tucker now for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They run a draw here on second down. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The Broncos on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, here's Keenum. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. Keenum now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Freeman. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos on third down. They're hitting it just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Keenum. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at the 20. They'll begin the drive with Collins. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Back now in Baltimore. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. Flacco here on 2nd down. Underneath to Allen. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Von Miller able to disrupt yet another pass play, his third sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
On first down, Keenum finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it a second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, Keenum. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And he'll bring it back to the 9-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
Baltimore gets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They pitch it out to Collins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Alex Collins, a 9-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter. So from 3 scores down, these guys have fought all the way back to grab the lead. And I'll just tell people what happened. When they went up 3 scores, I wrote onto your paper 2 words, game over, and now I'm eating those words. I was wrong.
Little salt, little pepper, goes down pretty easily.
I will admit when I make a mistake.
Well, it looked like it was going that way. This is one of those paging Frank Reich moments, and I can't believe I just brought that up, because Frank Reich at Maryland in college did it to my Tennessee Volunteers, and that was a big reason why my team lost.
Sounds like you still harbor some pain from that game.
You know, we still got a little time to work it out with the doctor.
Tucker with the extra point, and that will make this a 4-point game. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only 1 play to score it. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And the interception that ended their previous drive, that might be one we look back on and say that was the turning point of this game.
Hey, partner, guess what? There's still time for a few more turning points in this ball game. They're only one score down.
Yeah, true. We could have some twists and turns. Stay tuned. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. Boy, what a turnaround. They exited the lockers with a nice lead, and now all of this. What's happened?
So when you start to write your novel, you'll start out with, it was a tale of two halves, won't you?
Hey, but I'm a bad writer.
I don't know exactly what happened, because sometimes teams can go in with a lead and get too comfortable, too relaxed, and a couple of things go wrong, and it's hard to get back that good feeling.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Flacco off play action. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. They run with Collins, and that play went nowhere. Losing yardage, it'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Second down, Flacco now. Looking deep downfield. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco. And the Ravens will extend their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there's no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? Do you see the coaches signaling? All the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. From the gun, it's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Now a first down throw. Keenum. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Keenum to throw again. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson there on the coverage.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 5. Again, they'll throw with Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
So this is what happens when you throw interceptions, that confident veneer that you have. It's chipped away a little bit. Maybe a little bit gun-shy throwing it around.
Yeah, underthrowing him there, and you're right. Those interceptions maybe in the back of his mind. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Now Keenum, got to have this one. And now here's another interception. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Now Flacco and the Raven offense come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the fourth.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed, like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
On second down, Collins. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll run the counter with Collins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. And in this situation with the lead, fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And defensively, they just don't seem to have much of an answer for this passing game.
Not at all. Look at the confidence that's exhibited here. With that type of a lead, clock on their side, instead of running it, they're still throwing it, trying to pick up first downs and keeping the football.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. They'll try the right side with Collins. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
And that is incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 1st and 10, Keenum. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Working from the gun, Keenum, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Demaryius Thomas, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Keenum. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. I don't know, he had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to wind up and air it out. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They get the pick. Now what can Flacco do on first down? Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That goes for a gain of 31. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. A give left side to Collins. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, that's Allen. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Now a carry for Allen. And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down. Flacco from the gun to Allen on the dump off. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Shotgun snap for Keenum. And this is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Keenum. He's going to let it fly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The safety that time, Tony Jefferson, there on the coverage.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got Hireman. And they're able to get this one across the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. Again, it's Keenum. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. And he clocks it with just 10 seconds left. And that one is incomplete, and now we're inside of 10 seconds. Just 9 remain. Now Keenum again. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Brandon Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard, you're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal, that's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Ravens are victorious here as we say so long from Baltimore.